This is Scrappy Kathy, and it's Scrap Squad Sunday, but it's also the 9th of the month, which is a day that we've chosen to honor Redefined Kreative and the incredible Khristina Sorge. And so I'm going to use products from my latest Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit, which was built around Vicki Boutin's color study, and I keep saying color story, I'm not sure where that's coming from, and Cocoa Vanilla Sunkissed. And I don't know if you can see, let me kind of bring the camera over here to there. You can kind of see the chaos that is my work table right now because I've spread out. I've been using both of these collections a lot lately. I've spread things out for a couple of other projects, and I haven't put anything back in order. And so I'm just going to kind of draw from all of it for this layout. This is the original. There are these zigzags. It looks like these may have been done with washi tape, and that might have been easy, but there's a pattern paper in color study. This yellow kind of checked plaid sort of paper that I thought I could cut into zigzags and use it. I mostly use their cut apart sheets on the other side, but I happen to get several different sets, and so I can spare one of these without losing too much in the cutouts. So I've got a bunch of the things that I thought I might want to use, including the photos that I will be using. And these are photos from, maybe 8 years ago, when as soon as the kids would arrive, they'd ask, is there a workshop at Home Depot? Home Depot is a big box building supply kind of place. And they have, at least once a month, maybe more often than that in the summer, they have, they spread out tables and tents and provide supplies and instructions and walk around and provide support for kiddos to build things like bird feeders. And, there was probably one this weekend or last weekend for the kids to make something to give to their mothers for Mother's Day. There'll be something similar for Father's Day, things like that. And John, drawing on his experience in shop class when he was in high school, used to love helping the kids kind of line things up and showing them how to do certain things and how to hammer. And here he is with Barrett, and there's the carpenter's glue there and the hammer, and they're, he's interpreting the instructions for him. And here's Katie working here, and I don't think Ava's there. She must have been on the other side of the table, and James must have been helping her. So she didn't make the photos, but all of the kids loved that. And in fact, when John was in the nursing rehab center, Katie initiated an idea some weekend evening when we were at home and just kind of couldn't think of a movie to watch. Everybody kind of was missing John, especially on weekends, which is when the kids got to see a lot of him. So Katie we had been to visit him, and we could only do window visits because, COVID. And so Katie wanted to, and there was a fairly wide, deep windowsill on the outside. So Katie wanted to go by, and she did go by some wood birdhouses, and I brought my acrylic paints upstairs, and we sat and painted birdhouses and talked and laughed, and then we were gonna bring them to John to put on the windowsill, and then not too long after that, we learned he was going to be released, or released is not the word, discharged, and so we had, we didn't have that many visits, and we didn't want to leave the birdhouses for the other people, so we kept them at home, and then we brought them in his room when he came back home to his room. Anyway, the love of painting birdhouses came from the bird feeders that I think they were making on this very day. So enough about the photos and the story. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to mix these two collections along with some extras that came in the kit. These are some wood wonky hearts, and since they're doing woodworking projects, I'm using some wood grain paper, and I'm going to try to kind of bring that in. But she also made these, which are based on the colors of Sunkissed. And so I may try to work one of those in. I've got 3 flairs. I'm going to bring the color purple. This is kind of a bluish purple, all of these things. There's a stripe, a grid, and a dot. So there's a little bit of mixed media, looks like painty kinds of stuff. I believe this is a digital layout, but it's all kind of meant to be under these paper layers and the photos. So I'm going to put this aside and kind of brush all this stuff off. I've got a nice thick piece of cardstock that will hold up to a little bit of mixed media, and I'm going to do a very, the good old standby packaging technique. What I don't know yet is the color. I've got the yellow kind of across there. I'm incorporating some orange because the aprons that the kids got when they did these projects at Home Depot. Home Depot's logo color is orange. So I may just go with orange. That was one of John's favorite colors. So I'm going to mix up. I'm using this Amy Tangerine watercolor kit, kind of, that was given to us at a retreat that was sponsored by Redefined Kreative and Secret Not Secret Kit Club and Rediscover Your Stash. And this was in 2019, because it was right before we got Ava's diagnosis. I'm going to drip a little more water in this. This is getting pretty orange. And I will move that over. This paint set I keep close to my desk, and I just love it. Okay, I'm going to kind of do this. And the idea here is this probably isn't going to show a whole lot, or not a whole lot of this is likely to show. I'm gonna smoosh this down, kind of, and I'm gonna take a, put that there. Let me get my paper towel. And I usually don't want to take a lot of color off, but in this case I kind of do. There, that's good. And then we'll just let everything get built on top of that. I'm going to move that off to the side, realizing, of course, that I have to deal with it later. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put down is this. And what I did here, I just kind of picked some zigzags, and this kind of went to the, on this one, kind of went to the bottom of the page, so I can cover that with an embellishment that will hide the fact that it's not pointy, and I'll have to do that with all the bottom ones, but I can figure that out. Okay, so let me do this. Okay. And that's not exactly in the middle because I know I'm probably going to put some stuff down here. I'm not putting it smack dab in the middle. I think it's a little bit higher. See, it's a little bit less space there than there. So I think that's kind of what they did too. Now what I've done here, I saw a layout on the, I think it was done by Rebecca Birch. And it was a design team layout, and I'm forgetting right at the moment who it was for, and I apologize, Rebecca, but she had a panel of vertical stripes going down the center, and it was highly distressed, and then it had layers underneath. And I didn't want to try to cut other zigzag layers there, so I cut some little wood grain, or tore some wood grain strips, and I'm going to try, I kind of like quickly, informally measured about how long these things were, and then cut some pieces about that size, and I figure I can always kind of hide them under. But it would be something like that, and then I can kind of curl those up with the tweezers so they look like, so that kind of looks like another piece of distressed. And I don't know that I'm going to put these in all of these areas, but I may have to make some more if it looks silly without all of them being in there. So let's put this one here, for example. There. It doesn't have to peek out much. I'm thinking just those two down on the bottom. The photos gonna the line of photos will be over this way. So now I'll do another one maybe right here. That's managed to pick up a little bit of the orange watercolor, and that kind of makes it look even more mixed media-ish over in this area. So let's go with this one maybe right here. And once we get everything on, I should be able to put some more of these if I feel like that's necessary. And if I do it with the tweezers, it's a little bit different kind of distressing for the brown paper than the finger rolls that I did on the yellow paper. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use this as the base, and then I have some other strips that'll go on it. And because it's bridging some of these folds, I have put some foam at each end, and then that kind of makes it a little bit level there. And if it's not, I can always kind of push it down because you can't really see that. Okay, I've got these two wood grain pieces, and I thought I could put them together like that. And I've got these pink ones that I thought I might, these are a little bit shorter, but I can do that. And then I'll just count on having something that's gonna cover that up. And I've got these little pieces, which I think I'll put on after I've got the photos on. So since this is kind of built up, I may not put the photos in on foam. Let me just, it just hurt my heart. I wanted that orange, but it hurt my heart to cut that color wheel. Okay, there. And then this is gonna go here, maybe overlapping these two. How far did that go up above there? At about that much showing, and it's kind of lined up like that. Okay. There we go. And this stays exposed, which gives me a chance to maybe use some embellishments. This, I think I will put on foam. Let me, God, just covering up those colors and putting adhesive, it hurts my soul. Okay. All right. Now, in here, we've got flowers of several different types. There's some circular elements, some kind of looks like cloud shapes. I'm not going to worry too much about literally translating that. I'm going to add a few kind of off to this side of the photos and this side of the journaling. I'm gonna add some ephemera. This is a journaling card that's on the other side, and talk about hurts my heart to cut these purple dots. I'm just gonna quickly fussy cut this, and I'm probably gonna cut it in half. I used it on another layout. I've got several of these cards, and I cut this out and I did my journaling on it. It was blank when I photographed the layout, but later I did some journaling on it. In this case, I think I'm going to cut it in half and maybe kind of just do that. I'm actually not going to cut it in half. I'm going to cut it like this and let it kind of look like it's whole there. And then I can put something right here. I like it like that. So I'm going to put a little glue because we're bridging some elevation there. I'll let it go almost to the edge of that paper. Let me kind of press that down. And here's where I may want to use a floral element, and I like this orange flower. So let's cut some foam, or let's use one of these. I said I wasn't going to use these on videos anymore because they're so hard to peel, but I've maybe gotten a little bit better at peeling them. So I'm going to do that way. And then I may layer, do I want a leaf, or I think I'm going to go with another flower layered kind of right there. Okay. And then I probably could use another one, maybe this pink. Okay, let's try that. I'll pull this out. And I know I said I was going to use these embellishments on this side of the photos, but I think this just works so well right there, and I didn't want to cover the stars entirely. There, and I'll just put a little adhesive tape on this. Okay, now there's no painting going on in these photos, but there certainly was afterwards. So I thought maybe, why don't I layer that on top? Because it's not really covering anything that's important. So let me try that, and I'm going to put this on the side so that it's level when I put it down. Let's make sure I don't cover up the guys. Okay, there. And this paint swatch, oh, okay, and I've got this pencil that says making the world more colorful, and I definitely want to use that. Maybe I'll do this, which says live in color, and then to kind of fill in right here, I'll layer a flower over so that we're not seeing that gap. Haven't decided on the pencil yet. So let's put some adhesive on here, get it where it's, I want to see the colors, and I want to see live in color. There. And then now I'm going to cover it. Do I want an orange flower? This is a red one. I'm not liking either of those options. Let's go with yellow, and I'll take one that has a leaf attached to it, and I'll pop it up so it doesn't look like it's there as a bridge gap cover or whatever it is we're using it for. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put the leaf this way. Okay, there we go. And that kind of brings that yellow down. And I really like how the watercolor is showing there. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'll figure out which one of these I want to use. I'm going to layer it kind of right here beside the pull that up. There we go. Beside the frame on that photo. And I'm going to do the same thing here. But that means I have to have an embellishment there. So what embellishment am I going to use there? Let's look. I like this little can of pencils. It looks like they're using pencils to kind of map out some of the stuff they're doing. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch to do this. Okay, and then this guy can slide in there. It's a little matchy-matchy with the orange color there, but I'm not going to get too troubled by that. Let's do it that way. Okay. It's not an exact match for the placement up there, but I'm fine with that. Now, I've got this making the world more colorful, and it could kind of go here with the pencils somehow, but I have to be sure I have room for my title, and I need to put something here. These are kind of a little far apart. So, since there were umbrellas, I could do this and then have another flower kind of right there. And I like this blue flower. And that's kind of covering Katie's arm. I tell you what, I could kind of sneak it up under there. There we go. Okay, that's gonna work. Just kind of slide it under the photo, lift that up, and then I kind of like that. I'm gonna commit, or I should be committed, or however you want to say that. I'm kind of looking around for anything else. I'm going to layer this kind of behind the pencils. So there's an orange umbrella, and I'm pretty sure those umbrellas were orange. I'm still not using this. How about we do it this way? And I'm going to try to cut a very thin piece of foam. Don't even have to cut it. I already had one. And that will just raise it up enough to give it some dimension. Oh, come on. I think that what I'm finding with these two collections is that I could almost, I don't know, it seems like it wants to go this way. And I'm not, I'm gonna leave it off. And that's unusual for me. Let me put the title on. It's gonna be Weekend Fun. Let me get this on, make sure that I have it, I have room for it, and then we'll start layering in some smaller stuff. Okay, let's see. I looked around for something that said make all the things, and there are lots that say do all the things. So I'm gonna kind of start here. And let it go kind of loosely that way. And then fun is a little more, it's all caps. So we're gonna go like this. Works out. And of course it looks like we might need an arrow, wouldn't you think? I love these arrows. I love puffy stickers. I love everything about this collection. Okay, where do I want the arrow to go? I'm gonna maybe let it go across the paint swatch card. Okay, I'm thinking I need some flower, a little flower here and some flowers here, just to kind of, ooh, there's just sunshine. I think the idea of sun is there. So I've got this little piece of the blue flower, and I could do the red maybe. I could do the blue up here, maybe do it right there. That's the other half of this one. And so it's kind of just there, and do I want this red one kind of right in there? It looks like I might want another half of one, but I do want a leaf attached. Ooh, there's a different kind of one. Oh, that's actually just the leaf. Here's a pink with 2 leaves. Let me cut that guy. Now curl the leaves up. Get it right there. And I think we're getting really close to finishing. I have the flare that I'd like to use. There's a little spot right here that seems like it might be a good home. I've got a couple of small puffy sticker sheets, and I have this do all of the things, which could be, it could go kind of right there. Or here. I think I like it there, so I'll figure that out in a minute. Let's get the flare in there. I have 3 pieces. Don't know if I'm going to use all 3. But what I'm doing is kind of introducing that bluish purple color that's in there, and it's on here, and to some degree on that flower. So there, that kind of rounds out those edges. Could also have used flare right in here. I think I want to use one piece kind of right in here, but that kind of props it up too much, and I'm not feeling that. It could go here, kind of tucked in there. Not crazy about that either. If I curl that up and kind of it's kind of puffing that up a little bit too much, and I didn't think about it ahead of time, so I didn't really leave good spots for it. How about here? And I can that works, and then this, you know, is not it's on the photo, which is raised up on foam, so that's fine, but I want to move it over so that the flare shows. Okay, so that's good there. That may be all I can fit in there. I've got this, and there's nothing going on the table there, so I thought I'd let this bridge that, and it's propped up on this, there's foam underneath. No, there isn't. Well, now there will be. And I want to use some of those little wooden hearts. Okay, this can give that the height and dimension that it needs, and I don't need it, think I need to have to support that. Okay, so I've got the grid and the dots. It seems like right here would be a good spot for that, and I think that's gonna work. Come on. Okay, here's the other piece of that. We're almost finished. Oh, I raised that up so that the title, I may have to watch that. Of course, when I'm bragging that I'd gotten good at this, then I have trouble. And I want the stripes to be horizontal, just because. Okay, so that kind of raises that up. Therefore, I'm gonna put a little adhesive down on there. I think these are okay without the wood. I think it's okay for the wood. Now the wood shows only on those two. Or do I want to do these? I think just those two. And right here, I may need to put a little word strip so that you can't tell that point is gone. Okay, and this is one of those things that the sticker came out. The sticky part is still back on the page. It's like they did it backwards. I don't know if they're all like that or if I was just lucky enough to get one. Let's see. I think I have some tweezers here. I know I was working with tweezers a while ago when I was curling this thing. So let me do this. I'll put a little bit over to the side and do one of these little puffy stickers. Maybe like a little, I think I'll do that bluish purple color, and I want it in a star, not a heart. So let me do that. And now I'm gonna kind of raise it up so it sticks just on the paper and not on the background. And I'll pull out some of that glue. So it just a tiny little thing there that that kind of adds to the, it adds a little bit of color and accent there. I'm going to use one of these flat circle pie chart kind of circle things to go up next to the go up next to the flare, and then I'm gonna put that guy there just as a little accent, and I'm gonna do another one over by this flare. And these things, you know, kind of stand in for sequins in a way. There. And I'm gonna take a, let's see, there, well, we'll get one of the little hearts off here. I'll take an orange one and kind of put it, I'm gonna put it up here on the clipboard, if I can get it off my finger. That's not good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the orange one off because it's too close to that orange. So I'm going to get this blue. Okay, that's at the right angle. All right, now do I want to try something like that up here? Sure, why not? Where did it go? Here we are with our little circles that do not have any sticky on them. Whoops, almost lost that. So I'm gonna just kind of put the glue there and put the circle there. And then I'm gonna pick a little, let's go with the orange one here. And I kind of put it right there. Okay. That wasn't anything important. It seems kind of empty right in here, and you know that hurts my soul when there's something empty. Ooh, you know what? Here's a small one of those pencils, making the world more colorful. So I could kind of do it this way. That's the idea I had all along. Okay, that works. So I can do this here, and what I'd like is something colorful there. So I could layer that over maybe this rainbow. What do you think? That's a clear sticker. I like that. That one's kind of big. I'm going to go with the smaller one here. Okay. And I'm going to use the burned side. I love that. Did you ever have a wood burning kit when you were a kid? Okay, there. And I think that's going to be it. Let's see. A little bit different. A little bit different. Do we need anything right in here? I'm thinking a flower. There was a flower that I cut half of. So let's kind of do a flower. And I think there were some leaves that were just, it's kind of big leaf. Come on. That's too big. Is there anything on here that's a leaf? I just want a leaf, guys. Here's a clear sticker of a leaf that's exactly the right size. So if I put that there, the leaf can kind of go maybe down. So I'm gonna have to put the leaf in and live with where it lays. Okay, there. And now I'm going to put a bit of foam behind the flower so that it has dimension that elevates it above where the leaf is. So okay, I'm good with that. That's just a little tiny touch there. So we've got lots of weekend fun going on here, and it's a happy John page, and I'm really happy with how the watercolor dried. So let me put the lid on this. I know I have it. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you around out there. Bye.